wheeling in onto you.
Will you be able to hear your names, or do you need one of these devices?
Sherry wants to know if you'll be able to hear. Do you need a device?
What?
Will you be able to
She
hear?
needs
Do you
a
need
device.
I have a hearing aid.
Yeah, she said she has her hearing.
So I
You're
should
good?
be able to hear.
Okay. I didn't know if you needed one of these PA things.
Yeah, well, they should work.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard to hear those guys.
I'll turn it up. It's 4 o'clock right now. Okay.
All right. Good afternoon. I'd like to call the Borough of Beach Haven agenda meeting for Monday, September 24th to order. It is 4 p.m. and we will have our flag salute, and I will be leading it today. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, adequate and electronic notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board in the Beach Haven Municipal Building, on the Borough website, and mailing the same to the Beach Haven Times, the Asbury Park Press, and the Press of Atlantic City. Mr. Allen.
Here.
Mrs. Ball Miller.
Here.
Dr. Davis.
Here.
Mrs. Rutherford.
Here.
Mayor Lambert.
Here.
I have one ordinance, ordinance 2021-24C, an ordinance supplementing Chapter 151, property maintenance, by the addition of Article 6, invasive plants of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, to regulate invasive species such as poison ivy and bamboo within the Borough of Beach Haven. Final reading.
Since this is the final reading, we are opening the floor to public comment. If you would like to come up and comment, we'll take the room first and we'll go through Zoom. Please come up, identify yourself, your name and your address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Is there anybody in the room that would like to speak?
Right here.
Yes.
I'm Nancy Myers. Our address is 606 North Beach Avenue. The property on the corner
Could you
of,
speak in the microphone, please?
I'm sorry, 6th Street and Beach is a corner lot, and they have planted bamboo on the property line, but in back of a 6-foot fence on their property. But it grows under the fence. It grows under our walkway. I believe it's under our house in the crawl space. So it goes on our property, it goes down the property next to them, and it goes out on the sidewalk. I guess my question is, how will this ordinance be contained? I mean, how will it be addressed? Do we have to show proof that it's growing on our property, or you can see the bamboo? It's a forest.
I would recommend you contact code enforcement.
Okay.
They'll come and take a look at it and issue a notice or citations as appropriate.
Now, would that mean that they would have to remove it on their side, or are they still entitled to have it, being they've had it for years?
If it's pre-existing, they'd be able to have it, but it does, I believe the ordinance requires it to be contained.
Yeah.
If it's pre-existing, so they would have to bring it within containment.
And how would they do that?
I couldn't tell you how to do that. I would just.
Because they have a 6-foot fence
Yeah.
and it grows underneath it. And the weeds, my husband has had to remove our little wooden walkway many times. And he gets bags, big black trash bags of weeds that he's got to dig with an axe.
Yeah.
This isn't right.
Yeah. I want to be careful because I don't know what code enforcement would do, and I don't want somebody to say the borough solicitor said X, Y, Z.
Mhm.
But I would imagine if it's unable to be contained, there's some more serious remedy that has
Okay.
to take place than just containment.
Okay, so then who would I contact? The
Code
name?
enforcement?
Just code enforcement?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else in the room that would like to speak? No? Anybody on Zoom?
Any person on Zoom that would like to be heard on this ordinance, you can raise an electronic hand. That's under the participants tab. If you're unable to do so, you can unmute yourself and make yourself known. Seeing
No.
none?
Sing. Oh,
I just have a question. So for removal and abatement,
Yeah, I was just looking
Someone
at that.
with-
I was just looking at that.
right, so
section.
someone that has bamboo right now, that doesn't mean that they're not gonna be held accountable for this. When the ordinance is in effect, they have to remove it and cover all costs that,
If it's unable to be contained, that's how I read the ordinance, is found to lack appropriate physical barriers to prevent its spread or growth. So in this case, it sounds like it's lacking an appropriate barrier to contain its growth, so then.
unless they put a fence underground.
Yeah.
Because the roots grow, right.
But they would have to remove it from their neighbor's property, wouldn't they?
They would have to cover the
Right,
cost.
I thought that's what the ordinance said. So they would have to either remove it themselves or pay to have it removed from their neighbor's property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like it. I mean, I don't want to say anything on the record that might impact any municipal court proceeding, but the ordinance does read that if they're under the removal and abatement section, that if it lacks physical barriers to contain it, then it would have to be removed.
Is there a penalty if they don't?
Yes.
I know there is, I just was asking that.
Yeah, it's the general statutory penalty. It's
Get a
up to
summons and.
$2,000 and actually prison time.
So you ought to be able to get it
I don't think
removed.
Kurt would ever do something like that, but there is a serious monetary penalty. And you would, I presume, have an order to actually have it removed.
So you understand?
Yes.
So call the borough tomorrow and ask for code enforcement. If they're not there, they'll take your name and your information down and then schedule appointments to come to your property to take a look at it.
Right. It's,
Well, this isn't effective till October
October
20th.
20th.
October 20th.
it just doesn't seem reasonable for them to have to come over to our property to remove it. When, they should be the ones to remove it so that it doesn't come onto our property.
Right.
I think that is a possibility,
That would
that could
probably-
be the outcome.
Okay.
Right, because the roots are just gonna keep growing.
Yeah.
They're not gonna, they just continue. It's like my daughter's, I said, you're gonna see it come up in the floor of your bedroom. It's that invasive. You can see it grow.
Mm-hmm.
If you stand there and look at it, it just, amazing.
Wow.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I live on 6th Street, so I'll come and take a look.
Okay, nothing further on this? All right, is there a motion to approve 2021-24C?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second. Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes?
Mrs. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mayor Lambert?
Yes.
All matters listed under a consent agenda are considered to be routine by the municipal council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds, and any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. I just read that because I added a resolution.
I was wondering.
It took me longer to read that than I would have.
Right.
Resolution 190 is acknowledging a mayoral appointment to the library board, Nancy Thornton. And resolution 191 is being added for cancellation of water charges.
Okay.
Are there any questions about the resolutions? Mr., can we do that now, or I guess for public comment, maybe?
No, I just want to know whose water charges are going to get canceled.
Can't hear you.
He wants to know.
It was a billing issue. Something was missed, a meter was backwards, and we need to make an adjustment. So we need to, that's how we go about canceling and making an adjustment to a billing. It's not any group that's getting cancellation.
Okay.
It's an issue that we're fixing.
But it's not getting raised either.
Okay, I would like to make a clarification here because it does say that it's a mayoral appointment. And after the consternation in July, where I did make an appointment, I know people wanted to see the library board itself wanted to see a younger member come on with school-age children. And unfortunately, after they looked for several weeks and then they weren't able to find anybody, Dr. Myrick wasn't able to give them a name. I asked a couple people when the library board said, do you have any recommendations? And thankfully, Nancy Thornton, who I met last year, said she would like to become involved. And she graciously agreed. But I asked the library board to make this choice. This was not my choice for clarification purposes. And I did have several older people and seniors, and they wanted to take part, but out of deference to the respect of the library, I went with Nancy, who I'm going to call a tweener, and I'm very grateful that she was willing to, but I just wanted to make that clarification that this was not my choice per se. This was the choice of the library board. And anything else for that? No. Okay, is there a motion to accept the resolutions?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second. Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mayor Lambert?
Yes.
I have a bill list this evening in the amount of $55,600.38.
Has everybody had a chance to review the bills?
Yes.
Any questions or concerns? I'm not hearing it. Okay, is there a motion to approve the bills?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mayor Lambert?
Yes.
Under general discussion, I distributed a proposed ordinance ideas to edit the dune walkover rules and regs under chapter 57. Two changes we'd like to see. One would require that the private dune walkover permit holder extend their rollout to the flat beach. Right now, their rollout mats are too short, and then they're walking on the edge of the dune, and it's falling away, and it's creating more erosion than it should be. So we'd like to require that if they're gonna do a private walkover, that their rollouts be long enough to extend to the flat beach to protect the rest of the dune.
Makes sense?
Do we have any idea right now how many people would be out of compliance or?
I would say more than half of the list that I provided you, which
Yeah,
is
or-
15 people.
Okay, thank you.
We had a lot of problems.
How
Okay,
many private walkways are there? 15?
I think so.
Mm.
Is that what was on the list? I
Yeah.
forget. It's under 20.
Mm.
Under 20.
We tried to stop them in the past altogether.
Yeah,
We
why
didn't
would-
want them. We were told that by the Army Corps that we had to allow this.
well, yeah.
We were told. I mean, my feeling was anybody that lives ought to be able to walk to the street end and get on the beach. Why do we need this? And we were not given the option to do that.
The other thing that we'd like, and we've had some issues with some storms that we had, that if we have a weather event, that the private walkover permit holder would have to come down or have someone come down within 30 days to remove the debris. We've been sending our guys into their own private walkovers to collect their fencing and their rollouts and things that are getting washed out. So we want to make them responsible for removing the
Absolutely.
debris.
Absolutely.
Those are the two changes. If you're okay with them, they'll prepare an ordinance for the next meeting.
So the walk over, is that, it's a mat?
Yes.
I guess.
They
that's like
literally
wooden.
could take the dune fencing and lay it down and unwrap it. But most
They
of them
gave us
go-
very specific, it's very specific what they can do and can't do.
Most of them get some fancier wood.
Yeah. Very specific.
So you want them to go over the dune and all the way down to the water's edge?
Flat beach. At least to the toe of the dune, I guess that would be what it was called, so that it gets to the flat beach, not the water line, but.
Okay, because is that gonna affect what the guys do in the morning as far as raking and cleaning up the beach? I mean, when they're driving right down it? I mean,
This is what Chris asked for specifically,
Okay,
so I don't think so.
Like some of the ones that I've seen end into the walkway that's from the beach, like down south of here. Like the way that the walkways go, they kind of go out to the side, and some of those dune walkovers end into the walkway that goes down. Is that acceptable?
Mhm.
Okay, so it's just that there shouldn't be space for them to walk on the actual dune. They need to have an actual thing that keeps them from letting the sand erode.
Yes.
Okay.
Down on my end, there's 3 on my beach, I think, and they end at the dune fence. They don't continue. But
Yeah.
the dune continues beyond the dune fence.
Yeah.
So it's,
That's the problem.
I see it there.
Yeah. That's all I have.
Okay. Now it's time for public comment. Again, we'll start with the room and go to Zoom. If you have a comment, please come up and identify yourself, name and address, and please limit to 3 minutes. Anybody in the room like to come up? No? Okay, anybody on Zoom?
Any member of the public wish to be heard on any item, any topic, please raise an electronic hand. The electronic hand can be found under the participants tab, or you can unmute yourself and make yourself heard. try to give them a little bit of time.
Mhm.
I'm seeing nothing right now.
Well, okay, so then we will close the floor to public comment. Is there a motion? No, do we need, no, we don't need, no. I have motions for everything now. All right, well, that brings us to final remarks by council, and I believe it's time to start at the opposite end. So, Mrs. Rutherford?
I did not come with any public comment specifically, or I'm sorry, final remark today. I'm really enjoying the fall weather and being able to see some of my local friends again. So hope everyone's enjoying this time of the year. We look forward to blinking lights soon, and thank you for participating in the meeting today.
Thank you. Dr. Davis?
I have no comments.
Okay, Mrs. Baumiller?
Wow, this is one of the shortest.
I know.
I just wanted to thank everybody for coming today, a few of you and on Zoom, and that this week is, of course, the Chowder Fest weekend, and they'll be holding their Merchant Mart both Saturday and Sunday, but more importantly, please spread the word that the school parking lot will be open for parking for $10 to support the Beach Haven PTA, which supports the activities that we run for the kids at the school. We're also selling spirit wear, so if you want a cool t-shirt, stop by the parking lot and park your car there and spread the word. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Allen?
Yeah, quickest meeting I've been at, I think. Yeah, just echo what you said, supporting the PTA, help support the kids. And I know that there's a couple of activities this week that the PTA is sponsoring for the kids, which are fantastic. Hope everybody has been enjoying the weather, and hopefully we get a little more time before it gets cold.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, again, great meeting. I wish they were all this fast and easy. I wanted to mention that the second Reef deployment went out today, and congratulations to the junior mates and to the Beach Haven Charter Fishing Association. Please keep supporting them. If you want to buy a reef ball, they would really appreciate it. This weekend, as you know, Saturday, the fire department is having their fall festival, and that's from 12 to 8 in Veterans Bicentennial Park. So please come out and support our fire department. Merchants Mart is the Taylor Avenue parking lot, and that's Saturday from 11 to 5. Chowder Fest will be in the same place, Sunday, 11 to 4. And it's a little different this year. That'll be the closing ceremony. So please try to get out there and support all these different events. And that's it. Thank you. Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.